Guys, I told you there was gonna be upsets. I told you Hell's Kitchen wasn't gonna win. But what I didn't expect was that Maria Friedman was gonna lose. I thought she was gonna win. Welcome back, and today I'm going to be talking about the Tonys and my reaction, my response, all of the things to what happened last night. So, going into this ceremony, a lot of people believed that Hell's Kitchen was gonna sweep and that it was guaranteed gold. But as I said in my prediction video, and I'm getting up the thing right now, the Jukebox Musical never ever wins Best Musical. It's like this little percentage that it can happen. And I guess that could apply to Illinois, because obviously that was a Jukebox Musical, and that unfortunately did not win Best Musical. And I think, again, as I said, there's a lot of factors as to why Illinois didn't win Best Musical. I think a main factor was it was a limited engagement. It was a musical that people had a hard time defining. Some saw it as a musical, some saw it as a dance musical, some people saw it in this gray area that they couldn't figure out. And so that's why Illinois failed to get Best Musical. Guaranteed, if Illinois was a traditional musical, it would have swept. It would have been the Hamilton of the season in terms of Tonys, because I think it deserved it over The Outsiders or any other musical. I thought it was the most transformative thing I've seen in a long time. And yeah, I thought that Illinois deserved the win, but obviously I knew going in that it wasn't going to happen. Now, again, going on to the nominees. So Best Musical went to The Outsiders, and I mean, I wasn't surprised. Were you surprised? Yeah, I mean, based on that New York Times article that surveyed Tony voters, and typically when the New York Times does that article on the Tony voters, and they do that pretty much every single year, that is a great indicator of what's going to win and what's going to lose. And Hell's Kitchen seemed to have lost its momentum, and The Outsiders seemed to have gained a last-minute momentum, and it won Best Musical. For a lot of people, probably an upset, because I think it was either Hell's Kitchen or Suffs that were likely to win. I don't think anyone thought Outsiders was a big contender at this point. And I personally said in my prediction video that this was going to be a battle between The Outsiders and Hell's Kitchen. And I'm very happy that Suffs didn't win, because I think it's pandering the musical. Pure and simply, it is political theater, and it is not entertainment, and I think it is a total physical representation of the way too ultra woke liberal culture that we live in. And I am those things. I am woke. I am this and I am that. But again, it's just it's one of those things where I see it as activism that is pretending to be art rather than art that is secretly activism, to put it bluntly. I don't know why I'm talking like that, but anyways. So I'm glad Suffs didn't win, and I'm not upset that The Outsiders won, because personally, I don't hate it. I think it's a fine show. I haven't seen it. I will see it when I get back, and I will... okay, here's the thing. I don't think it deserved Best Musical, and I think seeing it, I'm gonna be like, oh, that was good, but I'm not gonna be like, wow, that deserved to be up there with the prestigious musicals that have won Best Musical. And this is a huge shift from the Best Musical winners of the past. You know, The Outsiders is not a small artsy kind of show. It's more commercial with an artsy layer or flair to it. You know, it's making over $1 million. It did not need Best Musical, because regardless of a Best Musical win, Outsiders was going to have a long, healthy time on Broadway. And so I didn't think that it needed to win Best Musical, in my opinion, to survive. But a lot of people were very happy about that. Best Revival obviously went to Merrily. No surprises there. Leading actor in a musical, Jonathan Groff. Again, no surprises there. I thought his acceptance speech was very heartwarming, and it was just super nice to see him finally get honored that way. Leading actress went to Malaya Joy Moon from Hell's Kitchen. Obviously, I'm gutted that Kelly didn't win, but I did say that Malaya was going to pull off the upset. And she did, once again showing that if your musical is closed, it has a very unlikely chance of winning, if at all. Featured actor went to Daniel Radcliffe, and I thought that, again, I thought that an Illinois person should have been nominated, or Alexander Paul Nolan. I saw Daniel. I thought he was good, but I didn't think he was like Tony winner worthy. But I'm very happy he got the award, because I've been a huge Harry Potter fan, and he was shaking in his speech. He's so humble. He was so surprised. He needs to respect himself more, because he's a talented guy. So I'm very happy that Daniel took home the Tony. And then featured actress went to Keisha Lewis for Hell's Kitchen, which I guess was an upset because many thought that Lindsay Mendez was going to win. And I had a feeling that Keisha could pull off the upset because she was winning a lot of the other musical awards, and Lindsay wasn't. So I thought, maybe Keisha could take it. So it is sad that, there wasn't a trifecta of the three of them winning Tonys, but it is what it is. And they definitely spread the love to a lot of shows this year. Direction of a musical, this was a huge surprise. Danya Tamor for The Outsiders over Maria Friedman. I mean, Maria Friedman was an easy slam dunk, no questions. It's a lock. It's not even a conversation. And Danya pulled the upset. And I know that The Outsiders' direction has been universally acclaimed, and it's one of the best parts of the show. So I'm, again, very excited to see The Outsiders. And again, I'm very surprised that Maria Friedman did not win. That was a huge shock. I think some people were saying, well, it technically isn't an original, not an original, it's technically not a new production, because it, premiered many years ago, and so it's not like it just came back. I think Maria Friedman would have won had this been the first iteration of her production, but there would obviously been productions of it in the UK and in America, so that might have worked against her. I personally think Justin Peck should have won this, even though he didn't get nominated, but that's neither here nor there. Hashtag Justice for Illinois. Book went to Suffs, and lyrics went to Suffs. Not happy about that. I think that the book, well, Suffs, I think Illinois should have been nominated in one book, and I would have given score to either Here Lies Love or Days of Wine and Roses. I know that they had an unlikely chance since they were both close, but Days of Wine and Roses, to me, was the most complex, nuanced, unorthodox, weird score, and I loved every moment of it, and I think it was snubbed. But I'm in a very small minority of that. Should I put my sex before my race? I mean, what are we doing here, guys? It's very poor lyrics, in my opinion. Scenic design went to Cabaret. Lighting design went to Hell's Kitchen. Costume design went to The Great Gatsby. Sound design went to The Outsiders. No complaints or surprises there. Choreography went to Illinois, thank God. And then orchestrations went to Jonathan Tunick for Merrily. So, overall, there was a couple of surprises, but I wasn't surprised by the surprises in the major categories of direction and featured actress and musical. The Outsiders definitely pulled up, and The Outsiders had the most wins, tied with Merrily, both getting 4 Tonys, and then Suffs and Hell's Kitchen gaining 2. Now, what does this mean for the future? Well, I think Merrily is going to close in July, and there's rumors of a pro shot, so hopefully that happens. The Outsiders, I think, will have a beautiful time, and I don't think it's going to go anywhere anytime soon. I think Hell's Kitchen, with its amazing box office, will also have a long run on Broadway. And I think Suffs will most likely close in January, as I think that it's not doing it's doing better than Illinois, but I think that once we get into the fall, it's gonna fall off, no pun intended, and it will close then. So again, I think this was a very solid Tonys. Again, I think the biggest upset was the direction, and for a minute I was like, could they not win like the acting categories? Like there was some edge of your seat moments, and that's exactly what I said. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, and comment. And I will see you next time. Peace.